Alright, yet another update. So, see, I'm moving along. These are just kind of mocked up in place right now. Same with the firewall, the cowl, all that stuff. I think in the last video I mentioned tearing this apart, drilling out spot welds. I'm back to not wanting to do that. Well, I see it's got this inner coating. I'll probably mix up some kind of paint and slosh around in there. I don't know what I can do that'll adhere to this well, since it's not scuffed on the inside. So I don't know. I might just try to throw some internal frame coating or that rust encapsulator. I don't know if that's UV resistant or not, but throw the wand in there with that black encapsulator and spray that. I don't know. I just really do not want to pull that apart. But anyways, so I've got these leveled off, both sides. This is 27.5 inches between both sides. Well, granted they're a little not butted together right now because I tech screwed them in place. They're tech screwed on the inside there, and underneath these outers are just kind of laid up. So this outside one here, I'm gonna have to trim this because it won't butt all the way in. And granted, all this will have to be double checked later. I got to get my measurements to measure how far out they go to make sure my length outward is good. I took some measurements just from like firewall forward, and I don't know if that's a good thing to go by or not. I also took measurements from torque box forward, but granted my torque box isn't in, and I think that's the last step to put in on the outer, so it's kind of hard to go by. I won't be able to do that until I have everything fit up with torque box tech screwed in place as well to use that measurement. I believe the frame diagrams give you a measurement to go from this hole that's covered up by this suspension piece here. I might be able to use this front hole that's somewhere in here. Anyways, it measures up to this hole. I think there's another one that runs all the way from the rear frame to that hole. I hate using these holes. I've seen numerous replacement parts where these weren't drilled correctly. So I'm skeptical of using that at all. I would love to go by, this is probably not good to go by, but this right here, this tip is probably decent, or this tip is probably good to use. So I don't know if someone can get me some kind of measurement from, I don't even know what to go by. I don't want to use this front lip because I had to replace this and the one on the other side, so they're not original. I don't know, they could be off slightly. They won't be off by much. I mean, granted, I could still bend them straight and redo them or cut it and re-weld it if I need to adjust it later, but they're replaced anyways. Ideally, the best thing I could probably go by would be something on the rear frame. Say like, I've got my suspension stuff mounted up, but like this leaf pocket maybe. The center hole of this leaf spring maybe to the front of the frame. Shit, I don't know, maybe someone's got a better idea. I have no clue. Anyway, so the floor was laid in before, but it's pretty much in place where it'll go now. This back is sucked up, tech screwed on the back lips. The suspension holes drilled for that plate underneath, and those tightened down to pull the floor tight. Same thing in the front. Floor's pulled down tight. These underneath here should be square because of this. Everything's bolted down tight. I think I might need to waller out these holes a little more. See if I can get underneath here. So this hole here and this here, because let's see, I don't know if I can even get the camera up in place, but this is jam up against that frame, and I don't know if it's actually got a hair of gap or not. Most of the pictures I've seen look like this is damn near up against it anyways, and this is not a flexing part, so it might be okay. I just don't know if it's possibly throwing off a bit of alignment if it needs to pull up more and can't. So I might elongate this hole and this hole a little more on this plate here. Also, on the top and on the fronts,
they have these plates that are supposed to mount on top that kind of pinch down against this. Well, these bolts they sent barely freaking reach, especially this front one. I don't think this front one reaches at all with that plate on. It might once I weld the floor down and it's tight, where I might be able to get the nut on it and suck it down, but it's pretty snug. The back two are all right, and this one's pretty tight up there too. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little snug there as well. See my little shoddy, crappy patch job here. Whenever I get it on the rotisserie, I'll clean up the welds underneath. Happen to run the tech screw right through the middle of one, go figure. But anyways, it's kind of junky looking, but it'll clean up whenever I flip it over. And then I gotta patch these ginormous spot weld holes I drilled out previously. But anyway, so that's bright as hell outside. So that's what the suspension looks like underneath. So, and those center holes are normally right here. And of course, the sleeve covers it up. So another fun bit is, I think I mentioned before, these bolts, I'm gonna have to go look and see if I can find some longer ones of these. This one ended up sucking down tight enough to reach. Same thing on that side. But this, I don't think it's hitting Teflon. Well, my phone decided that I was done making a video for whatever reason. I don't need to, I guess, check my card. I might run out of space. I need to delete some of the old videos I made, I guess. So, anyways, back to this part. So, firewall 90 level. This section 45 level. This flange can't reach because of this here, like I said. This one over here is pretty much in place where it should be. That will have to be straightened and reflanged. So, torque boxes I have to trim to get to go in because they rub on these lips, which I've seen in a couple other people's videos. Now, the predicament I'm in up front, which I want to say Barry with Joe Daddy's Garage had this same issue. I'm going to go back and review his video and see how he did. I want to say his problem was that this groove here did not fit. I don't know if it didn't fit on both sides or just on one, but this side fits, this side does not. Let's see if I can work this tape measure while on the phone. So that measures out 2 3/4. Exactly. This measures out pretty much 2 7/8. So the easy thing to do would be to grind this little lip. Now, that would make sense had I not seen Barry's video, where he talks about that lip being your required measurement to give this height. The shitty thing is I don't have aprons. So, if someone can give me the height measurement from the top of this frame rail to this, which granted that's gonna kind of be a pain to do since this bends and flexes a little bit, so hopefully they can give me the measurement to roughly this corner where the actual bend is, maybe. Something I can go by to see if I can actually grind that, or if I need to do like he did and cut open this bottom to flex it down and give it enough gap, and then hammer it up against that after I get it in place. So that's what I have to figure out before I can go forward. But I'll get that clamped up in place, tech screwed. I'll get these outers fit, and then I'll start moving on to the torque box fitting. And I don't remember if I mentioned this in the last one, but my rod and custom front, my cross member in here. I finally get to play with new parts other than just sheet metal. Oh, let's see this heavy son of a gun. So you just get a little view of it. It's too freaking heavy to pull out with one hand. So that's my rod and custom front cross member. I'll use that to also help me stabilize my front and make sure I'm squared up across here. Hopefully I can learn how to TIG weld a little bit better so I can TIG that and make it look
real nice. And also a lot stronger than with that MIG. But, oh, excuse me. It's the Yingling talking. So, that's where I'm at. Like I said, if somebody can help me out with that measurement, maybe, on this front. Just something to go by if someone's got their factory apron up here. I've actually got mine. I guess I can try to go off of. I did take measurements before I chopped it apart, but there's my lower and my upper there. So I can maybe go off that. Apparently my maximum video record size is 4 minutes and 11 seconds for whatever reason. I'll have to figure that out. I just started doing that. I guess the last update changed something. I don't know if it's this HDR or what. But anyways, I just wanted to pretty much say thanks for watching, and until next time. And like I said, if anybody can help me out with this little bit of questions I'm having, a little bit of measurement info, be grateful. Like I said, I'm gonna go back and review berries, and I can also check my own measurement off my original. I'm Pooch, my little helper here. I'm Valkyrie. Yeah. But, alright guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Tune in next time.